and welcome to Capitol Heels, right here on Queer Space Magazine. My name is Arson Nikki.
And I hate Arson Nikki.
Oh.
I'm London Bradshaw.
Okay, well then, London Bradshaw, I have yet another question for you today. I'm wondering, have you ever had to sign a non-compete contract where you couldn't do any shows except for one particular bar?
Yes. And I got fired.
I want to know more.
Tell me. Oh, me tell you. Got it. Okay, so I did a bar up somewhere that I will not be named. And I do a lot of not be names. So I performed at a bar, and then I won the title of Miss Gay Seattle before I was Miss Gay Washington. And so basically, I went to perform in Seattle at a bar in Seattle, and as soon as the other bar that was not in Seattle found out, I got fired.
Oh.
But I felt like I should have been there because I was Miss Gay Seattle. I was representing, you know? So
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Miss Gay Seattle should be in Seattle. Just saying.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So I feel like it's a good thing to do to support another bar and represent yourself from that bar into another bar, and it brings the community closer together. I think that's just my opinion. Maybe, you know?
I see that. For me, it comes down to when you sign a non-compete, you lose out on opportunities for a lot of other shows, which depending on your artistic motivations can be good or bad. But for me, it's all about, you know, missing opportunities to earn extra money. If you want me to sign a non-compete, I'm here for it, but you have to have the cash to make up for all the other missed opportunities.
Amen.
That's just me, but everyone has their own preferences.
I was also told that I had to promote a lot. There had to be a lot of promotion, show up on time, do things like that.
Yeah, and it sort of depends on everyone's promotional needs and all of that stuff. Speaking of promotional needs, a question that I get in my Instagram and Facebook DMs all the time from folks all over is, how do I get gigs? And I am here to explain that to you. And not only that, but answer another equally important question: how do you keep consistent gigs? So if you're looking for new gigs, the number one thing you can do is show up to the shows that you want to be booked at. Not only that, show up dressed up and ready to impress with your looks, with your personalities, and when you get booked for a show, your performances. This includes showing up for the promoter and making sure that the promoter knows that you're at the shows, making sure that the patrons are engaged by your artistic work as well as your personality, and making sure that you're nice to the bar staff as well, because those folks have a lot more say than you might think that they do. Once you are able to get a gig, the way that you hold on to them is by doing your promotion. Oh my goodness gracious, I can't tell you how many careers have been launched by strong promoters who show up, are professional, who are on time, and can do a solid performance and get people to come to the shows. That is what matters. So if you're looking for that, that's all the advice I've got for you. Now that that's off my chest, London, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I do. I am going through some friends who have been in some situations. So I wanted to ask you, what do you think about dating performers in the area of the Pacific Northwest?
It is complicated.
Yes, it is very complicated. One thing I wanted to talk about today was dating performers and the rules that I think that are important when dating a performer. So if you want to date a performer, please, you can leave your masculinity at the door. I definitely think that if you want to date a drag queen, you should understand that we are human beings too, and we love to do things that are not always performing. But when we are performing or when we're out at the club and you're with us, you need to understand that when we're there, we're on the clock 100%. So whether we're in drag or out of drag, or we are performing or we're not performing, we are there to tend to our fans and tend to the guests at the bar, which goes along with what Arson had to say about promoting and getting out there and getting your name out there. So we're not cheating on you. We're not flirting with other people. We're just doing our job because that's what we signed up for. Second, if you want to date a drag performer, support them 100%. Don't go to all the shows that they go to. Maybe go to a couple shows, but also 100% like, hey, do you need me to help you pack this? Or do you need me to help you pack that? Do you want me to go with you? Is it okay if I stay home? But support them 100% because in the end, we will support you with what you like to do because you support us with what we like to do. Maybe the last rule is, it's just for my sake, make them breakfast. I like bacon and avocado and eggs. And then if you give me that when I wake up in the morning, maybe I'll, reward you in the end, farmersonly.com. Maybe. No? Am I wrong? No? Not doing it? Okay. But please support your drag performers, and please, if you date a drag performer, don't make it so complicated that you think it is, because it's not that complicated. It's not. They're not all scary.
I'm scary.
Oh, yeah, you're scary.
I personally am scary, but I can only speak for myself.
I think you are.
Well, moving right along, we have a very special segment for you coming right up right here.
Oh, God.
We actually went to Neighbors for Vibes, which happens every Wednesday, and we have a reporter on the scene who is doing an interview, and we have the footage right here for you. So let's take a look. Hello, everyone watching at home, and welcome. This is definitely not Arsenicki, and we are right here at Neighbors Nightclub on a Wednesday of all days. That's right, you heard me correctly. This right here is Vibes at Neighbors every Wednesday. It's their 18 and up night, and it's one of the only ones in Seattle. So it makes drag accessible to the kids, and that is absolutely fantastic in my book. And let me tell you, we have one of the showrunners right here, right now, right here with us. Please welcome Whisper Water Shadow. Yay! All right, Queen, I have some questions for you. So for those of you at home who may not have been to Vibes, how would you describe the show for someone who's not been here before?
Oh my goodness. So I like Vibes is kind of more like, it's like dedicated to the LGBT youth. So it's just like a safe place where people can like come in, be themselves, and kind of just celebrate who they are, and just be like surrounded by people who are like them and like accept for who they are. And then also, while you're doing all that, why not do it with a bunch of drag queens? Yay!
I completely 100% agree with that. So what's your favorite part of hosting the show? Because I know you host the show and you do a really, really good job of it, and that must come with a lot of fun perks. What's like your favorite thing?
I definitely like, you know, like you find like the kind of like the quiet people, and you kind of like pick on them just a little bit. I mean, you like tease people. I think a good laugh is always good. I think my favorite part is kind of like getting them like spruced up, like ready for the show. Like, oh my God, drag! So I think that's kind of like my favorite part of the night, just like everyone pumped up for the show.
I love that. That's really fantastic. And I have what I think is the most important question for you. So you hang around backstage with the queens pretty much all night. Who in the cast like smells the worst?
Oh, hands down, Irene Dubois. Irene Dubois. Every time she comes in, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know Pike's Place Market was here. Mahi, mahi, yes.
I love you, Irene, and I agree with that assessment. Well, thank you so much. We're like so excited to be here, and we're really happy that you're having us, and I wish you all the best. We have with us today a very loyal, regular audience member and also participant in the show. What's your name?
My name's Hera Diamandis. I'm a drag queen here, but tonight I'm an audience member.
That's absolutely fantastic. And so you've been to the show before, right?
Of course.
What's your favorite part of coming to Neighbors on Wednesdays?
Obviously performing, always getting to entertain the crowd, always get to have a seat, smile on everyone's faces, making sure my girls are all taken care of. That's the best thing. Getting to work with all these different like guests, individuals, it's like perfect.
I love that. And so far tonight, what's been your favorite part of the evening?
Not being in drag. But
I feel that.
Yeah, but getting to see everyone and getting to see the show.
Cool. And what I think is the most important question, so Whisper Water Shadow and Irene Dubois are the two hosts of the show. Who do you think would win in a fight?
Fuck. I have to say Whisper because like she's the one who's like writes the checks kinda. But Irene would beat the bitch's ass too, so I don't know. I think they both win.
Do you think it would end in like a tie with them both like knocking each other out at the same time?
I think like Irene would like cut the bitch and I like somehow Whisper would be like, I don't know.
I can see that going down pretty easily. I don't know. I agree with you in that assessment. All right, well, I think that's all the questions that we have for you. Thank you so much for talking with us, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you, you too.
Well, that about wraps it up for us here, folks. I gotta tell you, this is one of my favorite nights on Capitol Hill, especially a weekly one. We've got 18 and up drag, which is absolutely fantastic. It gets the kids involved so that by the time they're 21 and of bar age, they are ready to go. And boy, I gotta tell you, those girls up there are bringing it every single week to you right here, and it's really, really turning it out up in here. It's really important to support the youth, and we're trying to do that any way we can by showcasing their talents right here on Queer Space Magazine. So with that, we're really excited to be here, and we hope you're excited to be here too. So come on down to Vibes here on every Wednesday right here at Neighbors on Capitol Hill when you're in Seattle. All right, that about wraps it up. Thanks so much, and we'll throw it right back to you in the studio. Thank you so much, on-scene reporter, for your absolutely fantastic journalistic practices.
Thank you, random reporter that I've never seen before. I really have not seen him before. I'm so excited that he's here.
Me neither. Someone should get a restraining order. I am a little bit concerned.
But I'm being serious. I've never seen him before, so I'm really excited.
I think we have footage of you.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Because, yes, I went down to a random show. Just kidding, it's my show. I do a show called Weird every fourth Friday of the month, and I decided that I wanted to interview one of my favorite up-and-coming performers. This month's theme was Nickelodeon themed, so we did a tribute to Nickelodeon, and I got the first person of color bearded drag queen in Seattle.
Fantastic.
Dion Dior Black. Take a look at this. I am London Bradshaw. I am in boy form, but in drag. This is Weird. We are out down at Timber Room, and this is my show that I host, and I have my very special guest today, Dion Dior Black, the only POC bearded drag queen in Seattle. How you feeling today?
Feeling great. How are you doing today? Good.
Thanks for being here. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions. What makes you want to be a drag queen?
Oh man, ever since like a kid, like putting on a shirt and like pretending it's a wig, prancing around the house in like a little cape and watching Disney movies and Spice Girls and MTV and like sneaking to like listen to music videos and songs and stuff. It was a very church house, so we couldn't like listen to Mary J. Blige and stuff. So do that, and then growing up, being more free and like being able to do what you want to do, I'm like, well, this might be something I want to try. So I took a whack at it.
So what made you want to do drag and keep your beard, if you don't mind me asking?
Sure. So for a while, especially on like Drag Race, it's always been pushed that the pretty, it gets to be one certain look. And I was like, well, I don't want to be one certain look. And one, this is like my moneymaker, because why not? So I would be like, why don't I keep the beard? And then I'll like see different queens on Instagram, like, oh God, Grace Towers and the bearded bitch, you know, just a list goes on. And I'm like, well, you know what? If they can do it, I can do it. And then I was like, I don't really see that in Seattle. I'm sure it may have been out there, but I just wasn't exposed to it. And then I came across going like to art plates and seeing other queens. That's where I came across my drag mom. And then she gave me more knowledge on different aspects of drag. And I was like, well, why don't we just paint one day and then let's see what happens. And then she painted me and I was like, well, this might work. So from there, it's just been taking off.
It sounds like a sex slap. Yes. So what kind of food do you like? I know that's a random out of the box question, but like as a drag queen you must eat, you know, so what kind of food do you eat after drag or before drag?
I love all kinds of food. Mexican food, soul food, macaroni and cheese actually. That's like comfort food, and I'm like always here for comfort food, so probably macaroni and cheese.
Equal opportunity eater. That sounds good. Foodie. You're a foodie. A bearded drag queen foodie. I love it. So what kind of performances do you do? What kind of songs do you listen to when you're getting inspired to do drag?
I'm kind of an old soul. Like when I was younger, my dad would always play like Motown and like different songs like that. So I would be singing Diana Ross while other kids are singing like TLC, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, but she had big hair and she did this and that. So like, I think I'm pretty well equipped of music. I wouldn't say I have like one genre I like to do. I kind of like to do all, because there's always someone in the audience that's going to know what you're doing. If like not one, but like two, someone's going to like know and like what you're doing. So I would say I kind of branch off in different areas with songs. Where can we see you perform next, or where do you usually perform? Well, I used to do baked goods with Cookie Couture. I'm doing Weird tonight. You can catch me next month at Crimwork with the Sex and the City show. So that could be exciting. And just follow me on Instagram and I can keep you posted on what's going on with me.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you for taking your time. I'm going to get dressed, and I know you need to change, and we need to get this show started. Right. So we're going to get started, and I'm going to, body up. Back to you, Arson and other London.
Thank you so much for that fantastic interview, London. And Dion, I must say, your beard is beautiful.
I wish I could grow a beard like that. I wish you could just see the hairs I try to grow on my face.
I don't know what you're talking about. I see a hair here,
Don't.
and I see a
Stop
hair
it.
here, and I
Fuck
see
off.
3 here.
Fuck off.
Just teasing.
I'm sure you are.
Well, unfortunately, we have run out of time, but before we go, we do have a very special announcement for you. We are going to introduce a new segment in which you can ask us literally anything, but not literally everything.
Yeah. Ask us literally anything, but not literally everything.
Keep it tasteful.
Yeah, ask us what kind of food that we taste.
Keep it tasty.
But don't ask us what kind of lube we taste. You know?
I am right there with you on that. So if you have a question that you'd like to ask us, make sure to leave us a comment on YouTube, on our Facebook page, on the Facebook video itself. Go to queerspacemagazine.com or tweet us at Queerspace Magazine on Twitter, and we will make sure to get to your questions. I can't wait to hear from you. It's going to be very exciting.
Yes, I'm excited.
So with that, thank you so much for watching Capitol Heels right here on Queerspace Magazine.
Please like, subscribe, and share to our YouTube, our Facebook, our Instagram, and Twitter.
Absolutely. And thank you so much. My name is Arson Nikki.
I'm Lyndon Bradshaw, Miss Vanjie.
And we will see you again next time. Take care.